Welcome back. It's been quite a while since I've done a gameplay video, and I thought I'd do something a little bit different before going back to the Mega Drive games. So we're looking at Saturn 9 here, which is an indie game on the Xbox 360. This is a machine that has been a bit unloved for probably the last couple of years, and I've been setting the games room up again, and I just thought I'd give it a go and have a look at some of the indie games, and this one caught my eye and I quite enjoyed it, so I thought I'd do a gameplay video. It's a couple of years old and it wasn't particularly expensive. I'll skip the cutscene. Essentially you're like a rescue crew, and it's just you, and there's a ship that's, well, a research ship that's gone out of contact, and you've got to find out what happened to the crew. It's not a particularly long game. It's probably about an hour long, but for like 69p or $1 or whatever the equivalent is, it's probably $1. It was quite fun. So I mean, graphically it's kind of cool because you get a lot of bump mapping and kind of shadowing. You can see there it's all dynamic shadows and stuff, kind of like Doom 3 was. But yeah, this is quite fun. I've looked at a lot of indie games and not many of them really got my attention, but this one did. So let's have a look. Yeah, so you got a bunch of log entries, and it's all voiced, which is quite nice to hear. Yeah, so essentially something bad's happened. Right, so we need to get through this locked door, and there's a password. Why is that coming? Is that the machine? Oh yeah, it's a reflection from the terminal. So we can't get past here. Yeah, the atmosphere is really good. I mean, for the amount of assets in the game, there aren't very many. You know, pretty simple textures, pretty simple objects, but it works. And I'm kind of interested in this from an indie perspective on how to make a game when it's just like a couple of people. What does that say? YXXY. That's the password. There is a run button, but when you run, your torch goes down. Yeah, the frame rate goes up and down a little bit in some areas, but nothing major. It's still perfectly playable. YXXY. No, other way. XYYX. It's really unsettling. I've got the sound turned down, but when it's up, it's quite scary. I like the draw distance. It's deliberately made small, so it goes from completely invisible to visible in like a meter. So you've got this artificial, it'll be fogging that's being used, but you've got this artificial draw distance which is quite small, which works. I like it. I mean, I was really getting into this kind of game just as research for kind of what to do next on my own stuff, but this really does work. I was impressed. I didn't expect to be. Door locked. So let's run. I think you can turn the torch off. Yeah. So it's black, apart from that. Let's go back. It's just so dark and claustrophobic. It's fantastic. Encounter suit. Yeah, there's dirt on the visor, which I quite like. Yeah, I mean, essentially what you find out in this is there's something not right with one of the engineers. Forgotten your password. Right, what's your favourite food? Now, there's something back here. Yeah. In a way, that it kind of reminds me a little bit of Bloodshot on the Mega Drive. Just the way everything looks. I've walked past it. There we go. It's just the way everything looks. It's that very kind of regular boxy pattern like Wolfenstein, and all these pillars. Even the textures are similar. Noodles. Isn't that Bachelors? That's a real photo from probably from the supermarket that's had the logo removed. It's all good fun. I mean, the beginning of this game is really quite slow burn. It's well, when I've read into it a little bit more, it's based a little bit on a game called Slender and Slender Man, which is a little bit later in the game. What were the noodles? N D L E S X's X. Right, so let's go back. Yeah, the frame rate does dip a little bit there. I don't really know what the engine is. It did say at the beginning of the game, but I've never heard of it, so I don't know if it's some kind of, you know, like a cheaper third-party one that's meant for kind of indie devs. But the lighting's pretty nice. I'm quite impressed with it. It's all just so slow, which is great. Uh-oh. I'm not doing this, by the way. I can move, but I'm not tilting it. Ooh. That noise sounds so much like the original trailer for Alien and Prometheus. It had that sound on it. Some kind of scream. That's a phone ringing. Yeah, this does happen a few times where you go into these regions that don't have a lot of oxygen and it affects you. Goings. Ooh, what was that? Something just kicked me then. Oh dear. He's either been on the Romulan ale a bit too much, or he's about to run out of oxygen. I don't know if you can die or not in this from oxygen deprivation, whether it's on a timer or whether it's just, you know, scripted when you go into certain areas. Some dead dude. Let's see. Yeah, so you got these log entries. Something bad's happening. Okay, so it's talking about some kind of brain parasite. Can you see where this is going? Lichens in 1877. Right. Got to remember that, 1877. Can't use the bioscan. Need a crew member. Or a part of a crew member. Right. 1877. Bone saw. There's a dead body of a crew member and there's a door. Right. Only one way to get through this. Sorry, mate. You gotta keep clicking. I don't want to go through there now. Right. Yeah. Oh. Where did he go? He ran to the left. But there's nothing. Did he get through that panel or something? I don't know. Low oxygen. Error code. Xbox error code. Yeah. Ooh, that's not supposed to be there. I think he's hallucinating. Yeah, I mean, I like games like this where it's a bit like the, what was it called? The Silent Hill, like, sequel on the PlayStation that never came out, only the demo. PY or whatever it was called. Yeah. So I died today. I didn't notice. Press to exit the game, yes. Yeah, the PY, that was what it was called. Where it kind of, you're going through these corridors and it's all slow paced and a bit surreal and scary, and yeah, I like that kind of game, and this is a bit like that. Let's just see what happens if I don't do anything. I don't think that oxygen's moving. Nah. Right, I think I'll leave it there. I don't want to spoil too much of the game. Oh, crap. He's there. I think he'll have gone. Yeah. Yeah, I quite enjoy this. It's for you know, a fairly cheap experience, and for about an hour's worth of gameplay, if you take it slow, it's quite fun. And I think this is all made by one guy, and I think he either, I don't know if he bought the assets or whether he knows people that did it, but there's a lot of voice acting in the game by different people, which is quite fun, from different accents. So yeah, it's fun. It's a good little game by an indie. So yeah, check it out if you're interested, and thanks for watching.